journalists in the space with a wide enough worldview and experience pool and experiences traveling in the world where it doesn't end up feeling like you're participating in some form of parachute journalism. We've seen this issue when it comes to Qatar 2022. There was a lot of criticism about how the Western media reported on human rights issues. There wasn't enough, and if you're asking for my opinion, I don't think there was enough local perspectives being provided. I understand that could be difficult in some situations, but I definitely feel that we needed far more local narratives being discussed. And at the end of the day, what was even more disappointing was if we talk about the Qatar 2022 World Cup, it's been a year since the World Cup, basically. We're heading just a week off the year from the final, and nobody's talking about the ongoing issues in Qatar. Do you think the migrant abuses have ended? They certainly have not, but nobody is talking about them right now because it's not part of the narrative anymore, which means Qatar was able to get away with this, and you best believe Saudi Arabia is learning from these steps and understands that as long as it can withstand the pressure from the media that comes only a few months at a time, well, then they will never have to actually face any legitimate consequences. Because guess what? Qatar hasn't had to face any consequences. So it's very important that we continue to nurture this space, that we elevate journalists that are willing to talk about these topics. We provide spaces for them and the resources necessary. We continue to educate and provide awareness to our listeners and our readers so that they can understand why these topics are so vital and so important. Human rights cannot be separated from sports. And unless we find a way to compete with this rising tide of authoritarianism, things are only going to get worse from here. So in conclusion, really, I think what Saudi Arabia is going to leave as a legacy when it comes to sport is that it's laying this modern blueprint for how to use football and other sports as a tool for geopolitical influence. It's emboldening other authoritarians around the world, and it's reshaping the power dynamics in the world of sports. This is what I call a crossing of a Rubicon. And if we want to keep up, we have to be so much better about incorporating human rights in sports journalism. Thank you very much.